A New Zealand product arrives at an American port with a customs value of 100 United States dollars. An additional tariff of 12.5% creates a charge of $12.50. Who pays it? The first answer is simple. The American importer pays the money at the border. The final answer is much more important. The cost can move backwards to the New Zealand exporter, forwards to the American customer, or into the profit of a business between them. A tariff headline becomes clearer once those two answers are separated. The person who sends the check is not always the person who carries the cost. In July 2026, the United States placed an additional 12.5% tariff on most goods from New Zealand. It replaced an earlier 10% tariff and came from an investigation under Section 301 of the United States Trade Act of 1974. The action covered 60 economies that together supplied 99% of United States goods imports. New Zealand was one of 41 economies given the 12.5% rate. The word additional matters. Many products already had a normal tariff, known as a most favored nation rate. For most affected New Zealand goods, the new charge sits on top of that normal rate. Some products are excluded. Beef and kiwifruit were among the important New Zealand exemptions. Goods covered by certain national security tariffs follow another set of rules and do not simply stack every charge together. So there is no honest way to take 12.5% off New Zealand's total exports and call that the bill. The result depends on the exact product code, its customs value, its exemption, its old tariff, and the choices made after it reaches the border. Follow one imaginary wooden product. A New Zealand company sells it to an American distributor. The distributor is the importer of record. When the shipment enters the United States, customs calculates the charge. If the relevant customs value is $100 and only the new tariff applies, the extra duty is $12.50. That money goes to the United States government. The distributor now has several choices. It can raise the shop price. If American customers still buy the same amount, they carry much of the cost. It can ask the New Zealand supplier for a lower price. If the exporter agrees, part of the tariff travels back across the Pacific through a smaller payment. It can accept a lower profit margin. The goods keep moving, but the importing business earns less. It can also buy from another country or from an American producer. In that case, the New Zealand company pays through lost sales rather than through a customs invoice. Usually the real result is a mixture. Suppose the distributor believes customers will leave if the shelf price rises by the full amount. It raises the price by $5, asks the exporter for $4 off, and absorbs the rest. The border still collects $12.50. The economic burden has been divided among three parties. Their bargaining power decides the split. A famous New Zealand product with no easy substitute may hold its price. An American buyer who needs that exact quality may accept the extra cost. A product competing with many similar suppliers has less protection. Its exporter may have to cut the price to keep the contract. Time matters as well. A shipment already at sea may be tied to a contract that says who is responsible for customs duties. The first order after a tariff can therefore look very different from the next annual contract. Businesses may use old stock for a while. Retailers may change prices slowly. Exporters may redesign packaging, change a product, find a new market, or wait to see whether a legal challenge succeeds. This is why a tariff can hurt without producing one dramatic moment. A smaller margin can mean less money for new equipment. A lost order can mean fewer shifts at a factory. A weaker export price can travel back to a processor and then to the people who supply it. None of those effects requires a New Zealand company to transfer money directly to the American government. There is another side. The exemptions for beef and kiwifruit can protect major export flows. An affected product may still sell well if American demand is strong. New Zealand goods exports to the United States rose sharply in June 2026, before the new system began. Trade does not stop just because a tariff appears, but the tariff changes the contest. It gives some American-made goods a price advantage. It can give an exempt New Zealand product an advantage over an affected New Zealand product. It can even change competition between two foreign suppliers if they receive different rates. The policy was linked to forced labor import rules. Countries that had accepted certain prohibitions or trade arrangements received a lower rate of 10%. That shows what a tariff can be used for. It can raise revenue, protect local industry, or create pressure for another government to change a policy. One charge can try to do all three. For a New Zealand household, the effect may feel far away. It can still arrive through jobs, export income, the exchange rate, business investment, and the price a producer receives. New Zealand earns much of its living by selling to people overseas. Access to a large market is therefore part of everyday life, even when the customs desk is on the other side of the world. When the next politician says that another country is paying a tariff, ask two questions. Who gives the money to customs? And who has enough power to pass the cost to somebody else? The first answer is written on an import form. The second is written slowly, in prices, contracts, profits, and orders.